What is up, poker players? So I just finished up a Friday night session trying to qualify for the PCPC satellite tourney again, and look at where I wound up. About 50 fucking points short. Not only did I wind up 50 points short, but this was my session and I was just getting creamed. But we got some shit to talk about, so let's get into it. So I got in 2 quick sessions trying to qualify for the PCPC satellite, and we're going to take a look at both of these sessions and the big hands from those sessions. There were a lot of interesting situations. You're going to have that on the weekends. I played everything from 2 NL all the way up to, I even sat down at a couple 100 NL just to play and rack up some points. But this one is from the 2 NL table, the biggest big blind hand of my first session. So we had 1 limp pre-flop. I isolate because we are at a short table to 8 cents, trying to get this player to play out of position against me. The big blind calls and the small blind calls as well, and we wind up flopping a flush draw with 2 overcards. There's 25 cents in the pot. Both of these players have a little bit less than $1 left in their stack. I do a 2/3 pot size bet on the flop, and the big blind calls and the pre-flop limper jams all in. It's 78 cents for me to call into a $1.45 pot. I'm getting almost 2-1 on my money here. I think this is a pretty easy call to make with 2 overcards and a flush draw. So I do make this call, and this player wound up flopping trip 6s. Still have outs to a flush, but miss them. Lost a big one right there. That one definitely hurts the win rate. Not necessarily the bank account though, because we only lost $1. And this time we have ace king in the small blind. We have an under the gun plus 1 limp, and the cutoff isolates to 40 cents. I make it $1.40. I 3-bet out of the small blind, and the cutoff makes a call. There's now $3 in this pot, and this player has $3.63 behind. I just check back, top pair, top kicker on the flop, hopefully trapping this player if he decides to jam all in here. He just checks back as well. I make a small bet here, and now he does jam all in. Not going to get away from this one, and we wind up seeing that he has jacks, and we were able to get him all in right there. He was pot committed, so there was a good chance that his money was going to get in the pot either way. But I think we made a good play there to try to trap this player. Told you I was playing everything tonight. I even got a couple heads up hands in. So we have a min raise from the dealer, heads up. I 3-bet to 350, and this player makes a call. Very low flop right here. There's a lot of hands that could just call a bet here or put in a bet here. So this player does bet, and I make the call with just the 3s and a gut shot. Hit my 3 on the turn and lead out. I don't want this player to be able to see a cheap card here, and he actually raises me, and he is beyond pot committed here, so I'm just going to put him all in. And he does find the fold button. I don't know how you can find the fold button right there. I think even if you just have an ace, you pretty much have to make that call drawing to your 4, unless he thought I had a full house already, but he does make that fold. Now let's get into the longer session, a session with some big old swings. I was up a bunch in the beginning, couple buy-ins there, running good, and then all of a sudden it made a swing to the reversal, and we were running way negative EV towards the end, and we just had some players just absolutely chasing and hitting everything. Like this hand, for example. It is only a 10 NL table. We have a raise from under the gun plus 1 and a call from Superfish here to my right. So I just make a call with the 5s on the button, and we wind up having 5 players see the flop. We flop top set. There's $2 in the pot, and Superfish bets 2/3 of the pot right away. I just make a call here. I want to try to get a couple of these players to chase if they have like an ace. They don't, so we are now heads up. There's $4.50 in the pot. I'm pot committed. There's $8.34 in my stack. He bets $1.43. I want to try to suck as much money as I can out of this player, so I make it $4.80 to go, which is a little bit more than 3 times his bet, and it gives us a good opportunity to get what we have left in on the river. Being in a 14-12 pot, we only have $3.54. He's not going to be folding pretty much anything. And there's the ace on the river, and he somehow, someway, probably because he has 100% VPIP, can't fold Jack 3 offsuit pre-flop, and he gets there by the river. That's one of those hands and one of those spots where you love being in. You have a set against this crazy player who plays pretty much every single hand, but he's going to win once in a while. What can can you do about it? Nothing, except win money against these players in the long run. You love seeing this because you know that this is why you play the game of poker, and this is what makes the game of poker profitable. Plays just like this. So I cannot be upset, and I'm not upset because I know this is why I play poker. This exact reason. And this is what keeps players like this coming back. Alright, now we have pocket aces on the button. We have a limp from under the gun. Never mind, that was a post. He makes it 30 cents to go. And I 3-bet on the button to $1.10. And he jams all in. Of course, I'm going to be making this call with aces. And he winds up hitting his 6. We got degened. That was another one of those hands where you love seeing it but hate losing it. Nice hand, man. This is a hand where we have pocket queens in the hijack seat. We have a limp to our right. I isolate to 5x. This player makes a call. 7 high flop, 2-tone, 2 diamonds on the board. Pretty good board for us, but relatively draw heavy. So I make it 73 cents to go, and this player min bets me, which isn't that great when I look at it, but I can see that this player plays pretty fishy numbers and isn't that strong of a player, so I'm not going to be getting away from this hand. There is 334 in the pot. He's got less than that back. I am going to be pot committed here, so I just make a call, trying to hide the value of our hand a little bit, and he comes out and bets a little bit less than half pot. I min raise him to put him all in, and he does make the call, but he winds up hitting his 7 on the river. You guys starting to feel my pain yet? These are the weekend tables. Gotta love it. Alright, we're gonna check out one more where I have aces and lose. Then we'll get into a couple big hands. Middle position, just limps. I isolate to 5x. We're at a 25 NL table, and there is 285 in the pot, and this player jams all in, and I have no idea how this player plays. We don't have a huge sample size. He bets 3 times the pot. It really confuses me. Just the jam here. He could have anything from pocket 8s to pocket kings to a flush draw to 7 ace. His hands are limitless. I mean, I thought about this one, really thought about folding, couldn't find the fold button, and I do make the call and wind up seeing that he flopped the nut straight and just jammed all in, and I'm sitting here shaking my head. I know you can't see me, but that's really all you can do is just sit here and shake your head like, wow, I cannot believe that just happened. But it did. Nice hand. Gonna move on. Keep playing. Enough losses with the aces. Now I'll show you a couple wins. So we have a limp to our right. I isolate to 5x again. The small blind. Was this the same player from the last hand? I don't know. That is super fishy numbers. 34 raise pre-flop. 63 VPIP. 9.53 bets. Crazy aggressive numbers. So he makes it 325. I have a 1150 behind me. This is a short stack 25 NL table. I just jam all in. This player's shown enough aggression pre-flop that he's probably not going to get away from it, especially with his 63 VPIP. So I just jam all in here. And he does make the call. He winds up having ace king. And we finally have a hand that holds up, and we take down a pot with pocket aces. And here's one from a 100 NL table. I told you I moved up in the limits today. A little aggressive with the bankroll. I made a play at it, made a run at it. I'm probably not going to stick to 100 NL until I get above 20 buy-ins, like I said earlier, but just getting my feet wet, you guys. So we have an under the gun min raise, another min raise to my right. I make it 3.66 times the players raised to my right with pocket aces. And this one plays out really weird already. I don't have a lot of hands on either of these players or any of these players that are in the pot. I mean, I haven't really played at this limit yet, so that is probably the reason why. But we do get a call from the big blind. He is very deep stacked. I'm pretty deep stacked at over $100. And we get a call from the player to my right as well. Queen high flop. There's 35.50 in the pot. I know this is a board that probably didn't connect with any of these players unless they have a set and we're playing that pre-flop. I could see players with a VPIP of this high playing 4s or 5s pre-flop. There's a chance that this player would have queens. I just checked back to try to induce some more action here on the turn from lesser hands like the pocket 9s. So he bets 22.48. I thought about raising here, but don't want to push hands like this out of the pot, so I just make a call here. And this player calls as well. And I'm a little worried about it. Is there a chance that one of these players with a 50 VPIP is playing, ace reg 4 or some kind of crazy hand like that? Maybe pocket jacks got there. They all check back, and I thought about betting here to try to grab some extra value. The pot's already pretty big. I don't want to wind up seeing four crazy forehand, 4-6 suited or 4-3 suited that this player could be playing in the big blind and just check calling the whole way. I don't know why you would play it that way, but I just didn't have enough information on these players, so I just checked back, hopefully just take down this pot, and I did wound up seeing nines. I probably could have got some value from the nines if I bet small there on the river. I think that one could have been a mistake, and maybe that's part of the reason why I shouldn't be moving up to 100 NL, is because I lost a little bit of aggression there, and you don't want to be playing scared at the table. You always want to be playing at a level that you feel comfortable. If you're not comfortable with losing your whole stack on this play, then you cannot be sitting at this high of a limit. Tell me what you guys think about this hand. Should I have bet the river for value? I think I definitely could have gotten value. Could have been a small mistake, but it's not that big of a mistake. It didn't really hurt us. I think we probably could have gotten maybe an extra $40 out of this player. I don't know how loose, or we still only have 16 hands on the big blind, and we only have 58 hands on this player, so we don't really know exactly how either of these players play. But maybe those are the players that we should be betting into, the weekend type players. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Even with this big old win right here, that was a pretty big pot. 66-46 on that one for the win, and we still wound up losing in this session. We were running a little bit negative EV, and we were negative variance. We were down 4 buy-ins, and we were down over 1 buy-in below EV. That's one of those sessions that you can learn from and improve on and become a better poker player for going through it, which is what I'm going to try to do from this session. Somehow I was still only down a little bit over $4 for today's 2 sessions. Not that bad, I'll take it. Probably wound up being plus with the points. Thanks for watching, poker players. Hit that subscribe button if you have not done that yet. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it. Give it a thumbs up if you like that crazy weekend poker. Get out on the tables, you guys. Now is the time. Head down to the video description if you do not play on America's Card Room yet. The link is down there. That is the site to play on. Crazy weekend play. Download the Hold'em Manager, which is the HUD that I use and everything that I use to review my poker sessions. I'll be back very soon with a new video, but until then, I'll see you guys out on the virtual felt.